good evening. How are you doing? So it's Monday night. We're starting the week off with a really nice, relatively simple and healthy dinner tonight. So we're going to be making a mushroom stroganoff. So to get started, I've got my pan on here. I'm literally just heating up about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm going to pop in a chopped white onion. You can use a red onion, you can use shallots, it's up to you. So this needs to cook down for a few minutes before I start adding the next bits. So with this, I'm going to be serving it with some of this basmati and wild rice. So I'll just get the packet open. This is a really nice rice. It's just a little bit more interesting than using like regular white rice. And a little bit healthy as well. It's a bit more of a whole grain in there. So I'm wondering if that'll be enough. Maybe a little bit more. Right, so I'm just going to give that a really good rinse. Okay, so onions cooking away. The other thing I'm going to be serving this dinner up with is just some green vegetables. So I'm just doing broccoli, green beans and some asparagus just to go on the side. Okay, so the onion has had a couple of minutes. It's beginning to soften up a little bit. So I've got a couple of cloves of garlic and my little garlic smudger, which is one of my favourite kitchen gadgets because it's just so easy just to get your garlic nice and finely chopped like so. As you can see, I've also got some parsley on the board here. That isn't going in to white at the end, so we can ignore that for the time being. Right, so I'm going to start adding some of these bits now. So first of all, I've just turned the heat down slightly. So I'm going to add in my garlic and then my mushrooms. And here I've got probably about 350 grams of chestnut mushrooms, like that. And then I've also got some of these, this is like a selection pack of wild mushrooms. So we've got some shiitake, some oyster mushrooms, a few of these little dudes. So I'm just going to kind of, I don't mind leaving these a little bit bigger chunks. So I'm just going to kind of like break them up. You can really, for this sort of dish, you can use whatever mushrooms you prefer. It's quite nice to have a few different types. If you've got some of them that you can get hold of, some porcini mushrooms are lovely. You can buy the dried versions in like a lot of supermarkets. It's a bit more difficult to get the fresh versions of them. So we're just going to add, a lot of these are probably okay to stay whole actually, some of the smaller ones. Like that. Okay, so let's get them all in. I'm just going to cook this down for a few minutes. At this stage I'm going to add some seasoning. So obviously some salt and pepper, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to make up a little jug of stock because we're going to, oops, a daisy, I've lost a few there. We're going to add some stock to this dish. So I'm going to be using a couple of mushroom stock cubes. Obviously, if you don't have these, it's absolutely fine to just use vegetable stock.
Is this going to be like the most mushroomy dinner in the world?
It could be, babes, it could be. Well, it is, you know, it's a mushroom stroganoff for a reason.
What do you think about that, El?
I think there's any more mushrooms.
There's not much room for
mushroom
any more
on
mushrooms.
mushroom. There's not mushroom in this pan.
Looks like in Zelda, collect mushrooms that give you different health and stats. That's what she's done. A little hot pot.
So there we go. Let's just dissolve those stock cubes in there. Ooh. Okay, right, so now what we're going to add into this pan next is a little bit of sweet paprika. You don't want the hot one, you want the sweet one. So let's just add a very, maybe 1.5 teaspoons, I think, in there. And continue to cook this down so the mushrooms will absorb all that lovely sweet flavouring. It's already looking really, really nice. At this stage, I'm just going to pop the pan on for the rice. This is a really quick dinner. This is the kind of thing you can realistically kind of, including chopping everything up, and you could probably do this in like definitely less than 30 minutes. Probably from the stage I'm at, or I started at here, it's probably about like a 15-20 minute dinner.
Adding that paprika has really sort of like coloured them up, hasn't it?
It's really coloured them up,
really
yeah.
smell it as well.
I know, it's really releasing the aromas now as the mushrooms are beginning to cook down. So what I'm going to do next, I keep dropping my consonants. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add in the stock, like that, and just so that come up to a nice simmer. And I'm also, well, the recipe that I use, it calls for some Worcester sauce. Now, as you're probably aware, Worcester sauce isn't vegan. It actually contains anchovies. You can get a vegan version.
That's fish, isn't it?
It is a fish, yeah. You can get a vegan version in like the health food shops, but I didn't have time to go to town today where our local health food shop is. But I found this. So this was right next door to the Worcester sauce in Sainsbury's, and the packaging's very similar. So I'm going to guess this is kind of meant to be having the same flavour, and it is approved by the Vegan Society. So this is a vegan.
Give us a little bit.
So
then.
obviously Worcester sauce is really strong in flavour to have it on its own, Andrew. But you want to do that, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it in my mouth.
How is it?
It's a bit like pickled onion juice.
It's like pickled onion juice. Does it taste like Worcester sauce?
Sort of, yeah. I don't know. I've had a go on that Merlot. Give me another little bit.
Hang on, let me have a go. I wouldn't normally have things like this neat, but
just cleansed my palate. So this is the one.
oh, that tastes like what I know Worcester sauce to taste like. Definitely.
Tastes like pickled onion Monster Munch.
There you go. You heard it here first.
That's
Cheese and onion crisp as Worcester sauce is good.
Okay, yeah, so vinegar is a high ingredient in there. Anyway, so we're going to add a tablespoon of this.
Okay.
So I reckon that's about that. Okay, so we're going to turn it down now and let it simmer away for about the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes whilst the rice comes to the boil. So we catch up with you shortly and let you know what's going on next.
Okay.
Okay, so it's nearly ready to dish up. The rice is done. The vegetables are just almost ready. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to thicken this sauce up a tiny bit.
Really? You're going to thicken it up?
Yeah, with a bit of cornflour.
Are you sure? That looks quite thick already.
No,
right?
it's fine, it's fine. I'm just going to use, this is a little trick and tip in case anybody needs to thicken a sauce. A little bit of cornflour and a little bit of cold water, like so. And you just stir it into a little pot like that until the cornflour is all dissolved. Okay, and then just pop that through and stir it in. Okay, and this will just help to thicken up any sauces if you're making a casserole or a stew or anything that just needs thickening up slightly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my chopped parsley, almost all of it. Just going to leave a little bit out for garnishing. So I'm going to pop that in like so. And then the other thing I'm going to add to this is some of this Oatly creme fraiche. So that will give it a nice creamy, available from all major supermarkets. A nice creamy consistency. So I'll probably add about half of the carton of this. Like that. Let's see how that looks. And just stir that through. It's on a really low heat now. Oh, and as you can see, it's really changed the colour, and it looks really nice and creamy now, doesn't it? It's gorgeous. Right, so this is basically ready. So let's, I'll drain off my vegetables and we'll plate it up in just a moment. Okay, so Andrew, would you like me to dish up for you?
Yes, please, baby.
Okay, so look how this rice looks. It's amazing. It looks so tasty, cooked to perfection, I must say. So we'll put some of that on the bowl first, like that. And then we will add on, look at the colours there, are amazing on this stroganoff.
I gotta admit, I just had a little go on it. I had a little go on it before the creme fraiche went in, and I had to go on
Did
after.
you know? You did all that very sneakily without me noticing.
And
what was your verdict?
I'm like the quality controller.
Yeah, just making sure I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, when you're not watching and that, I just make sure you're doing it okay.
And what was your view then? What's your verdict?
It's really nice, baby.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
It's like a peppercorn sort of sauce, isn't it?
It's
just
a little bit peppercorny. Right. And then what we do, we just finish off with a little sprinkle of the chopped parsley like that. Would you like a bit of salt and pepper or just pepper?
I might add some on myself. Let's get it
There we go
under the
then.
light.
So that is our delicious, nutritious, relatively quick and easy dinner.